Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. This is the Key of E. I'm your host, Nader. I'd like to tell you thank you very much for coming back and watching me again. I appreciate every view, and if you guys are enjoying this content, I will keep bumping it out. And today we're going to be talking about this Music Man Sabre, which, to be honest, I did acquire about 3 to 4 years ago. Now, why am I talking about this guitar right now? Well, first of all, is because I recently restarted my channel. But the other reason is because they recently came out with a newer version of this guitar. It's called the Music Man Sabre HT, which the HT stands for heat treated. And essentially it's for heat treated pickups. And I thought this would be a great comparison to do between the new one and the old one. I don't have a new one yet. I'm sure it's a great guitar, but depending on how things go, I may in the future acquire one and do actually a proper, A to B type of thing. But for now, we're going to have to do with this particular instrument. So let's talk a little bit about this guitar. So this is technically the Music Man Sabre 2, which means that there was at some point a Sabre 1. So this is a release of that, 70s instrument. Now, they did go ahead and make it a lot more modern, that's for sure, but it is a re-release. This one in particular, I think it's, I don't know the exact color, but it's green and yellow, and it's really, really nice. It comes with like what I would consider maybe a 5A maple top, and it is about a 1/4 inch maple top as well. Has stainless steel frets on the neck, and it also is an ebony fretboard. Locking tuners that are Music Man branded. For all intents and purposes, they were great. And this one comes with the flamed and no, sorry, not flame, a roasted and bird's eye maple neck, which it was really, really interesting and really nice. Bolt on neck. 10-inch radius, which is akin to a little bit of a fender type of thing, with fender being about 9.5, so this is a little bit flatter than that. It does have 22 frets, two humbuckers that are proprietary to Music Man, and a 5-way selector switch, one volume, one tone, and a vintage style tremolo. What I mean by that is that it is a tremolo, but you can only go forward with it. There is no way you can actually go backwards, meaning that it doesn't really float like a Floyd Rose bridge or anything like that. But as far as specs, this guitar is spec between vintage and also spec between, and modern. It's kind of like an in-between type of thing. Looks very modern, sounds very modern, but some of the specs are very also, akin to that vintage guitar that came out in the 70s. Now, do I like this guitar? Absolutely, I love this guitar. This guitar is one of my, well, let me rephrase. This guitar, out of my entire collection, sounds the best. It's a good mixture of amazing clean tones, amazing, bright bridge pickups, really, really nice, warm neck pickup. And all the tones that you can come out of it or make out of this guitar from positions 4 and positions 2 for cleans are amazing. So on for positions like the middle position is really, really nice as well. It gives you that little punch without actually making it overbearingly bad. So as far as like what you can do with this guitar from a tones perspective, it's really, really nice. And again, and I'm not saying it to say it. This is the nicest guitar sounding out of everything that I own. It sounds the best. It is my go-to for all the studio recordings that I do for my own personal songs. And it just sounds insane. I mean, there's going to be a lot of tones towards the end. I know I started the video with a tone, which is a little bit different than what I normally do. But there's going to be a lot of tones where I do cleans and I do, solos and everything. But just the bending on this guitar sounds absolutely nice. Let's talk a little bit about craftsmanship. Perfect. There is nothing. There is no QC, nothing. The guitar, when I bought it, it came out of Guitar Center. It sat there for a while, which is going to lead into a different story, but it sat there for a while, for about a year. And this one was priced at $3,500 new. And I basically picked it up clearance for about $2,200, which I think I did great on it because it's definitely worth that kind of money. But no QC issues at all. I just needed a setup, which I gladly gave it. It needed a fresh new set of strings, which I gladly gave as a gift to all new guitars that come out of the box, irrespective. But this would be a perfect 10 when it comes to setup, quality control, craftsmanship. Music Man is known for their fretwork, is known for their necks, and this is no different. This guitar feels great. I don't know the exact dimensions of the neck. I'm not the type of reviewer that will give you, for example, oh, it's a little bit rounded in the back, but whatever. What I can tell you is from a guitarist's perspective. it is a thin neck. If you're used to Music Man guitars, like the Majesties that I own and everything, this will feel right at home. However, just want to clarify, this is a thin neck. It's not a chunky neck. It's not a big neck. It's a very thin neck. Pretty good for playing speedy licks, pretty good for playing everything. Now, let's talk about the price of this guitar and where I think this could be an interesting bargain versus the new one. So with what I can tell, the new ones are $3,700. They come with heat treated pickups versus these proprietary pickups which sound absolutely awesome. Right? So the pickups already sound really, really great. But the new ones come with the heat treated pickups, and I think they gave it also some sort of, funky circuitry thing with like dB boosting, 12 dB boosts, and some funky stuff. But other than that, essentially the same guitar. Do I recommend you buying that? If you have the money, go for it. Go for the new one, fine. I'm never going to tell people, like I've said before, what to do with their own money. That is their money, their prerogative. They do whatever they want. However, I'm going to offer a different avenue for this guitar. So, my advice is the following. I did some research and I was looking at used listings of guitars that are in excellent condition. And I found that there's a lot of these guitars floating on Reverb, floating on the Facebook Marketplace for right around 2,500 bucks, similar to what I got. Now, mine was a new guitar, clearance item for 2,200, but essentially I'm finding mint condition guitars for anywhere between 22 to 2,500 bucks. I think that's a way better deal than going and spending 3,700 on a new one. But that's just me, right? You can do whatever you want, like I said. But at 22 to $2,500, if you can find one that is in really good condition, I would highly recommend it because you're getting what is essentially a great instrument. Almost, I would say, everything that comes out of Music Man is a custom piece of art, especially with their necks, especially with their guitars. Everything is just great. So you're getting really a lot for what you're paying. And again, instead of spending $3,700, there's going to be that $1,200 to $1,500 difference between buying it used, especially if you find one in good condition. And I can guarantee that if the person that took care of it or that had it took care of it properly, you're going to end up with a bargain. So, with that being said, let's break it down by different categories. Features, I'll give this a 4.5. And let me say, why not a 5? I want Music Man at some point in their lifetime, whatever it is, to make my perfect Sabre, which would be a 24 fret and a floating tremolo, similar to the tremolos that I have on the Music Man Majesties, which a new episode is going to come out on that hopefully soon. But yeah, as far as features, I would say 4.5, just because I'm that kind of dude. I really want 24 frets and a floating trem. I think that would make this guitar absolutely insane and epic. But 4.5 is very commendable. As far as pricing, I would say if you buy new, 3 out of 5. If you're gonna go spend $3,700, generally speaking, I don't recommend anymore buying these Uber $3,700 guitars and all that. Even though I have them and I'm a culprit, but what I'm saying is that these days, guitar makers, they're able to get you this really nice, well-playing instrument for 1,000 to 2,000. So there's really no need for you to spend $3,700 to $4,000 on a guitar, other than if you really, really want it. Again, I'm not being hypocritical. I'm one of those people that really, really want a guitar, and I'll spend whatever it takes. I can't fully say, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. From a value proposition, it is expensive. I'll go, 3 stars, like I said, maybe even 2.5. If you can acquire this guitar at 2,200 bucks, used in very good condition, that's a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 proposition. With that being said, there's the looks category. It looks absolutely insane. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for me. It just looks perfect. Quality control is also a 5 out of 5. And most importantly, playability and tone, 5 out of 5. Amazing guitar. It's the guitar that I pick up every time I just want to jam and I want to play. It's hard when you have a lot of guitars to really find your groove with one, but this is the one that I would take to band practice. This is the one that I would use to record music with. It's the one that every single thing sounds so complete. It's honestly one of those things where the guitar sounds so good that you just can't let it go. It plays so good that you just can't let it go. With that being said, this was the Kia V. Thank you for watching this video. Stick around for the end of the video because there's going to be a lot of tunes and solos and everything that I can do to just give you a good indicator what this guitar can do. No backtracks, just flat out the guitar sound itself. I'm going to be using my XFX3 straight into my DAW. In my chain, I only have a comp. I have the IIC Plus on the red channel and a 2x12 Mesa Buki. And that's it. That's all I do, with delay, of course, for the solos effects. But there's nothing else. That's all you're hearing. If you like this content, please make sure to like and subscribe and wait for the next, hit the bell notification icon to see the next video and when it's going to be the next upload. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep on rocking the free world.